Let's talk about some common mistakes to avoid when starting an online business. And these mistakes I'm going to go through just from experience as a mentor working with people. Some of the mistakes I noticed that people have made, even some that I've made myself on my journey of starting a business.
She's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment. Now come on now.
What's up, icons? It's the iconic fashion figure. And as I just mentioned, we're going through some common mistakes that people tend to make when starting an online business. We all make mistakes. I've made mistakes, but if I can help you to avoid them, I certainly will. And that first mistake I noticed that people tend to make when starting an online business is simply just jumping the gun. And what I mean by that is people let excitement get the best of them because they know they're ready to start a business and they jump right into just buying product, listening online, and launching a business, but they have no plan. They didn't actually think things through. They just immediately listed product and expects it to sell. You guys know I always tell you to plan this out, create goals for yourself. Take the time in the beginning and do that brainstorming and really come up with the plan. Create a business plan if you need to with that template that I've provided for you guys, which I'll link in the description box below again. But come up with some plan before you just go ahead and launch a business. Remember, timing is everything. You definitely don't want to start too soon when you're not ready, but also remember you don't want to take too much time either and take forever to launch. Some people will take too long and they'll never launch because they're most likely letting fear get the best of them, so sometimes you just need to do it. But one of those common things that I see happen is people launching too soon and they haven't actually planned it out. And with that being said, with jumping the gun and launching too soon, the next common mistake I tend to see happen a lot is not having any type of customer base or doing any type of marketing. So people are jumping the gun, launching these online businesses, but have no traffic. And then it's usually that common question that I get is, how do I get traffic on my website? I've been in business for a year and I've only had like 1 or 2 sales. That usually is because you haven't marketed your brand. You have no customer base. You definitely want to, in that planning phase, come up with some marketing ideas. Start to collect some customers that you can sell to when you do launch. They should already know that you're getting ready to launch by this certain date and to look out for it. But if you're not even telling people you're getting ready to launch, who exactly are you selling to? So I always encourage you to build up a customer base, to create that anticipation within that customer base that you're going to launch, so you have someone to actually launch this business to. If you don't have a customer base to launch to yet, start marketing. Marketing is how you'll gain that customer base. And a lot of people miss that in the beginning stages because they launch first and then market after. You want to start marketing before. Another common mistake I see being made when starting an online business is not planning for those mistakes that may happen along the way or any issues that may arise. I am glad that you guys are planning and setting goals of when you're going to launch the business, so you have that set date of when you're going to launch by. But usually a lot of new entrepreneurs don't plan out for the unexpected, and they literally drive themselves crazy when all these things are starting to arise that they didn't prepare for, and then become stressed out because they know they're not going to meet their launch date and they're really trying hard to meet that launch date. I always recommend when you set that launch date to pad it by a few weeks for things that might happen. So you might know April 15th you want to launch by that date, but things may happen, so set like at the latest April 30th. So kind of give yourself a range between April 15th and April 30th you want to launch. Maybe April 15th is like a soft launch for the customer base you already have since you've been giving them a date, and April 30th will be like your grand opening type of thing. So that way the customer base you are marketing to already, they will know that everything may not be perfect April 15th, but April 30th, everything for sure will be ready by then. So pad those launch dates or any other deadlines you're setting yourselves by a little bit, especially a launch date. At least give yourself a couple extra weeks because things happen. It can be technology that'll happen. It can be shipping delays that'll happen. You never know what could arise, but there's always something that could happen, so prepare yourself for the worst. Another common mistake I see a lot, which tends to go with number one of jumping the gun. Number Number 4 is thinking that this is going to be easy. A lot of people think that just uploading product onto a website is going to make them money. Yeah, that's the easier part of starting this business, but there's so much more behind the scenes work that you have to do for this. For example, the marketing. It's not going to be that easy. And I mentioned in a lot of my videos that you should have passion behind what it is that you're doing, because it's going to get hard. And that passion is usually the motivator when things are getting hard. It's because it's something you really care about and something you want so bad that even when things get tough, you continue to push through. If you don't have that passion behind you, you don't really care about what it is you're doing, chances are you're just going to give up, or you're going to sit it to the side and maybe come back to it at another time. Or you might completely forget about it because now you're moving on to the next thing that you feel like might be a money maker for you, and you're trying to launch the next thing. It's certainly not going to be easy every day, every step of the way. There's going to be times where it gets tough. Just don't give up before you actually even start, meaning before you even launch and before you give your business time to grow, because the launch is just the very beginning. Also, do not underestimate the amount of work you'll have to do. Running a business is long hours. It's not your typical 9 to 5. You're going to be working long hours. You're going to be putting in a lot of work. Your work never ends. So don't underestimate the amount of work that has to go into this. It's not always easy. The next common mistake I always see people making when starting an online business, and this is a big one, and that is allowing fear to get the best of them. So you have the people in the first common mistake where they jump the gun because they're so excited, but then you have like the other half that are afraid to start because they're worried about if they fail or things don't work out or if they lose money. Fear is normal. Fear is a common feeling. It's an emotion that we all feel. It's not abnormal, so don't feel bad if you are afraid, but don't let fear get the best of you either. Remember that failure is normal. That's a part of the process. Actually, I look at it as if you fail, you are on the right track, because chances are you're gonna fall down multiple times. You just have to know how to get back up. So you falling down is normal. Take it more so as a lesson learned, not a failure. You have to learn from what went wrong that time, so when you get back up and finish off what you started, you don't make that mistake again. Fear is normal. It's okay to feel it, but find a motivator that's going to help you get over that fear. Also, don't let those minor details hold you back. You don't want to miss any opportunities because these minor details are holding you back. For example, you might not be able to design custom packaging in the very beginning. And of course, that's something you want, but that's also something that can be added on later. So make a mental note of it, write it down somewhere, put it to the side that when you're able to, you want to design your custom packaging and keep pushing forward. Don't let those minor details hold you back from actually launching your business. Another common mistake that tends to happen, and I feel like I'm seeing more and more of it nowadays, is ignoring customer service. If you're one of my icons that watch me often, you've heard me say I know that customers aren't always right, but that doesn't mean that we don't service them. We still have to service our customers. And I've noticed a lot of entrepreneurs, when they're starting their business, they're focused on the product, getting the right product, sourcing their product. They're focused on launching their website. They're focused on making sure they can sell the website and having the traffic to sell to, but no one ever asks about customer service. Out of all the people, and I've been doing this, since 2018? It's 2023. I have yet to have a person come to me and ask me about customer service and needing help in that aspect. And maybe that's because you guys haven't figured it out, which is fine, but customer service is usually bottom of the list for a lot of entrepreneurs when we need to push it up a little more, because that is important when running a business. We need to know how to interact with our customers and talk to our customers and service our customers. So don't ignore customer service. You got to figure that part out too when starting a business. Common mistake number 7 is giving away too much product. So of course, in the beginning, you're trying to make your brand known. You're trying to get your name out there. You have family and friends that are asking for free product and you're giving it away. It's fine to give away things because, promotional aspect, you're trying to build your brand. But you don't want to give away too much product in the beginning where you're taking a complete loss. Now, in the beginning, of course, we're going to take a loss because of the amount of money we've invested to start. We may not make it back right away. away. But when you're giving away everything, it's going to take you even longer to hit that break-even point, let alone a profit. So you don't want to give away everything. And that doesn't mean just giving away product to friends and family or anything like that. That's promotional offers as well, the discounts you're giving, because I notice a lot of people will create these promotional offers that they see in corporations, like trying to give 70% off when your profit margin doesn't allow for 70% off, or these big promotions like a lot of the corporations do during Black Friday. Financially, you can't handle those type of promotions, which means you're basically giving away your product and is hurting your business. So you don't want to give away too much in the beginning because you need to be able to grow. And then of course, once you get to that corporation level, then that's when you can run those type of promotions. And common mistake number 8, which I've kind of touched base on in this video already, as well as previous videos, but starting a business you're not passionate about. Just like I just said when I was talking about thinking that starting this business is going to be easy, you'll have people that'll sit it to the side or completely give up because they don't care about it. That's what I'm referring to in mistake number 8, is when you don't have that passion behind it, you don't care as much about it, you might not put as much effort into it, because a lot of times your reason for starting it is for money, which sometimes some people's passion is money and that's your only focus. That's understandable, but there are ways you can make money and still be making money in a way that you love it, and it's not just about the money. You gotta find some other reason other than just money when starting a business. Make sure you're passionate behind what it is that you're doing. And then common mistake number 8 I see when starting a business is not having the discipline. I already said this is not easy, but do you know how hard it is to discipline yourself to make sure you are following through on your business and putting in the right amount of time and effort? Like I mentioned when I said it's not going to be easy and people tend to underestimate the amount of work, a lot of people don't have the discipline to make sure they're putting in the necessary work. As I've mentioned, you're going to be working long hours. In the beginning, you might be the only person running your business, so you're wearing multiple hats. You have to have the discipline to sit down and say that you're going to get this done. You're going to make sacrifices in your life that you probably never thought you would have made, but you have to make it right now to start up this business that you need to make. There may be times when your friends or family is inviting you out to go somewhere, but you have a ton of work to do, so you can't really go. Otherwise, you're going to meet deadlines if you do go to this event they're trying to invite you to, so now you have to say no. You have to be able to have that discipline to be able to say no to distractions, to be able to focus, to be able to put in those long hours and make sure your work gets done. And I can speak from experience. There's some mornings where I'm like, I don't feel like getting up. I just want to sleep. I want to lay in bed till like 11 o'clock. I do not want to get up right now. But I know if I don't get up, I'm going to miss deadlines. I got stuff that needs to be done by a certain time. Like, I can't just lay here. As bad as I want to, I can't. And technically, because I work for myself, I can. Because who's forcing me to get up right now other than me? Nobody. So I have to have that self-discipline to hold myself accountable to make sure I show up every day. And that's something that a lot of people lack in the beginning when starting their business, and it's going to set you behind. So make sure you have that discipline. Work on that before you go into full-time entrepreneurship. And the last mistake number 10 that I see being made when starting an online business is incorrect pricing. Never underprice. You don't want to lose money where you could be making money. You also don't want to overprice because you don't want to lose customers because now your pricing is too hard. I've done a video for you guys already with the Back to Basics series on starting your online business, helping you figure out the pricing for your product. Use that video as a reference to help you set your pricing, but you, more than I do or anybody else, knows your customer base, so you know what price point you should be in, which means you should know what the value of the items you're selling is worth. Make sure you price correctly because you don't want to lose money or lose customers because your pricing is too high. So those are the 10 common mistakes to avoid when starting an online business. We're almost through on this Back to Basics journey, trying to make sure I give you guys all the information I can when starting your online business for those of you that are just starting out or are still in those beginning stages, like in your first year of starting your business. If there's a topic I have yet to hit on yet that you need help with, definitely make sure to drop it down in the comments and I will extend this series. But other than that, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching.